Hello, friends. How's everyone tonight? Turn the music down a little bit. We'll get into this. Sounds like a good level. Looks like small caps are struggling the most tonight. Oh, actually, they're up 6.65%, but they haven't broken out like the other indices. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, this thing's gonna go nuts. Doubt it'll break out though. Looks good on the daily. Too quiet. Let me look at something. That looks fine. Hello. Any better now? Alright, cool. One second. Alright, so if you're in the Discord, I posted my catalyst calendar for the week, so we're going to go through and chart everything and see what we like the best. So that's right here. This is my watch list for it. It's everything that we kind of got something going on for this week in one way or the other. I'm going to try to get through this a little quicker. Got my Packers on tonight, don't want to miss much of that. So this one might be a little shorter. It's also possible my wife has a baby during this, so I might have to leave abruptly for that as well. But we will go and take it 1 minute at a time. Alright. So there's a bunch of conferences this week. So there's going to be a lot of healthcare on here because they all have guest speakers at the conference. May not mean much, but it's worth watching in case they say something. So, AbbVie had some really terrible news recently, sold off. In the end, they're probably going to be okay. They make a ton of money. So, it's at major support right now. It's starting to curl back. We'll have to see if it can come back to that 111 mark. I can imagine if we're bullish this week and healthcare is bullish in general, it might get dragged back up to 111. Maybe do a retest of 113 in this area. So, you're going to be looking for kind of a break over 108.70, 109 in that area over this blue box. So, firm, I'm looking to complete this cup and then make a handle. So you kind of have this cup and handle here. They also have a catalyst this week as well to watch. So that is interesting. That'll give us a price target of about 147. That's what we're looking for, is to finish that cup right there. So, and then a retrace probably down to about 100 to 120. We'll see. Amgen getting crushed lately as well. Just biopharma in general kind of been not doing well lately. I do think this week could help it kind of snapped this bearish mode it's been in. I really like some of the way the ETFs are looking, so that would be overall good for this. Amgen just needs to break this downtrend, and then maybe we can retest 230. Amarin does look pretty good. I like this this downtrend break, this nice impulsive bounce after earnings. It's really healthy. They have a couple of catalysts this week. Earnings have been exploding. So this is a $5 stock that could look really good this week. So if this thing gets over $6, could be a low-cost, high-reward stock. Keep this one on your watch list this week. Amyris is kind of the similar. Got a real nice technical setup. Kind of making a banana. You're going to want to see it over 17 to be really good, but you could play it on the downtrend break here as well as over the pivot of $15. I'd imagine it would at least try to retest 15 this week. Let's see what it does. AMSC. So this is interesting. This is a play off of Micron earnings, MU. So this has they're a major supplier for Micron. So basically if Micron does well, AMCS does well. So basically it just follows whatever Micron does to a certain extent. This is a small cap, so keep that in mind. But they're very heavily tied to Micron, so this would be a way to play Micron earnings without paying a heavy premium. It does have a good setup here as well. You can see it just kind of broke the downtrend and it retested it. Let's see if I got that right. Looks like it had a couple of daily breakouts here, but couldn't quite hold any momentum. So yeah, look for this to retest 16 for bullish this week. Over that, this looks like I got squeezed. I have to look at the shortishness on this. Let me look. I haven't looked at that yet. Let me take a peep at that real quick before I get off this ticker. We'll talk about Ader. I think it's worth mentioning this week. If IWM goes this week, it could pull Ader with it. And that could be, that's the squeeze that I've been waiting for a while. It's tried a couple times. Yeah, CEI is really starting to get some momentum. Zach Morris just been crazy with that. This is 11% short interest, so nothing crazy. AMT has a presentation this week, I believe. Let me go look at my catalyst, what I got on this. AMT. Well, I thought they had something this week. Maybe it's just for infrastructure, but... Oh, here it is. Tuesday, they have a global summit that they're presenting at. So, it is at support as well. Bounced nicely there, so I'd like to see this one make a nice strong bounce tomorrow. Break the downtrend, and then this would be really nice. Anthem presents this week at the health conference. Probably not going to be one of my top watches. Kind of plays like a dog. Apps, absolutely. Looks great. Had that clean downtrend break. Over 77. I mean, I think it's going to at least try to go for 75, and over that it's just going to keep going. Probably make a right shoulder here. Maybe retest 67 and then go bonkers. I am indeed doing it in alphabetical order. Alright, AUPH. Not only does it have one of the most bullish charts I've seen in a long time, It also has a catalyst this week. So they're presenting at the healthcare conference on Thursday. So over 24, and I feel really good about this one. So BCRX also presenting this week. Yeah, I really like AUPH. It looks great. Man, Packers are already playing again? Sheesh, we'll have to go through this quick. Alright, BCRX needs to bounce tomorrow, otherwise it's just not worth being on the playlist. But if it bounces tomorrow, you could see a nice downtrend break and retest of 17. That voice sounded different. Solid, you bags. BDSI also presents this week. A lot of these are presenting on Tuesday. This one likes to run when it runs. It is a penny stock, but gets a lot of attention, so I thought I'd talk about it. Look for that to get over 390, 393, and then it can run. CAPR. A lot of these biopharmas are presenting high big data this week. That's why they're on the watch list here, because they can pop if they go. So this went right into resistance on Friday with mega volume. I mean, you can see that volume hasn't been anything since back then. So this thing can get back over 580. The thing's gonna boom. CRM, man, what a monster! Made the 5 waves up, 2 waves correction. It's going for 5 waves again. Broke all-time highs, closed above all-time highs. Look for another monster day on Monday. So, CRVS Corvus presents this week. Looks like a lot of the price action has been built in. You know, it went from 280 all the way up to 950. They present on... Where did I see that? I know they present this week on something. Monday, maybe? No. Maybe I didn't put it on my calendar. But I know they present this week. So look for this curling action to start a wave 2 on this. Let's look at it on the hourly. Yeah, look for this to get back over 740 for it to really do something. Crowd looks great. It's got this reversal action going. Could also be a bear flag, so I'm not touching this unless it breaks this trend right here. Really ideally like to see it over 264.50. Stamp got sold, so it's not even worth being on your watch list. DMY, looks like a lot of the catalyst stuff is built in already. They present... What do they present? If you want to see my Tesla chart, it's on my Twitter. It's updated too. DMY has a special meeting on Tuesday. Edit, I put this on my Twitter. It looks really interesting. They present their cure for blindness. What happened here? Why are my lines different? That's weird. So, they present cure for blindness on Wednesday, and if they have good data, or at least encourageable data, I see this thing going to 83. I think this could make a $20 move this week. So Guild, they present Wednesday. This thing has a larger cup kind of downtrend here. Want to see this get back over 72.20. Yeah, edit looks good. Edit is the one presenting for blindness cure. It's looks really good. Yeah, Guild just doesn't do much. It like does these little choppy like 50-cent moves every day. Super boring. Now this is a ticker that looks really interesting. Benefits from the infrastructure bill. Still benefits from all hurricane seasons. They also have their investor day on Wednesday. So look for this to bounce back over 458 and potentially go dummy. Because I'm seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of an inverse head and shoulders on this. Really like that over 458. Be careful with the fake out at 467. But hey, a $9 move, you know, 444 to 467, $23 move, we'll take that. Did get hammered on Friday though. Yeah, HCNP presents this week. It's got a really nice, good setup. Really nice, good setup. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's not as bad as you think, Air Drake. So HCNP presents. I feel like I'm missing all these from my list, or I'm just not seeing them. Ah, here we go. HCNP has their R&D day on Wednesday, so the research and discovery day could be a really good day for them. So look for this to probably stick around these levels till then. If it breaks out, you might get sell the news. So if it's underneath before the event, you might get buy the news. It might, but it might run up beforehand. So Monday, Tuesday, expect a lot of things to be pretty liquid, pretty bullish. INSEE, this thing has just been doing nothing for forever. Don't know if this week will be the week that changes it. They present on Wednesday as well, but they haven't done much for forever. The break of the uptrend right here, you know, this was nice, 62 to 100, but it just hasn't done anything in forever. So it needs some sort of new drug or something to propel it, because that sell-off on Thursday last week was, or was that Wednesday? Wednesday, that volume sell-off was massive. People trying to dump some of these biotechs, move their money into more stable ones. INO presents this week as well. They present on Monday. You know, they were originally trying to do a vaccine for COVID. Never quite got the results they wanted, so never, you know, people thought they were gonna last year. That's why it went nuts, all the way up to 33. Never quite got there, so Intuit has their investor day on Thursday. This thing has just been going insane this year. You know, all the way from almost double, up 100%. Intuit TurboTax. They also bought Money Chimp recently. I think it was. Just secured that deal. Don't know if there's a real reason to go long on it. Probably will be a sell the news, imagine, into dividend. But we'll keep it on watch, see what happens. J&J, again, healthcare conference. Needs some good news on their boosters and vaccines. See this thing over 166, we'll get a nice reversal. Keurig presents on Friday. Keurig Dr. Pepper. They have a virtual day. Yeah, futures are crazy green. They're like, it's the greenest I've seen them in a while. I think people think the infrastructure bill is going to get done this week. That would be what it would be. I do have an infrastructure watch list. We can go through some of those tickers too here. Let's see. So this does have a nice setup here. If I can get out of this flag, I doubt it's going to do anything, but maybe it'll bounce here. See a retest of 35. Could be a nice $1.50 move we catch this week. Lucid. Lucid has... What was it? Hold on, I wrote something down on it. Okay, so Lucid is they have a production preview event this week in their manufacturing plant. So they're showing the process for their Lucid Air and their EV technology. So if investors are impressed, investors are impressed, then we'll be good. So look for this thing to break out over 26. I have a feeling the run up last week though was an anticipation of it. Li Auto doing what needs to be done is bring all these Chinese EVs down to reality. This thing needs to get back in that probably $15 to $20 range. Now we could say the same for all of the Chinese EVs. They do have their delivery numbers on Friday, so if somehow those are shockingly good, you might see a reversal, and it might be bullish up to the run for that. Maybe fill that gap to 2860. LiDAR kind of been crazy lately, all over the place with news. They have a catalyst event on Friday. Let's see, what do they have? Friday they have their future car conference. So I don't really know what to make of the chart. It's kind of crazy. I mean, look for that bounce at 755 and the downtrend break, I guess. Maybe see entry over 830, 835. LVS. This thing needs to reverse. It's got a killer gap. They have the macaw gross gaming revenue. So if gaming revenue is good from overseas, I don't know if it will be, but if it is good, you could see this potentially reverse. There's a lot of upside to it, but they got to get the numbers back up. They're not really justifying the price of the stock right now. Ah, Devontae, you dropped it on third down. Why are you doing this? Alright, MLCO, same thing. Got to see good numbers out of Macaw. That's on Friday. Maybe you'll see a run up. Maybe you won't. Just play the trend lines, really. I mean, you got downtrend here. If it gets over that, you can take a position. Myrna, I want to see this make an inverted head and shoulders here and a cup and handle. So basically what you want to see this do is probably bounce in the 424 area and then see this go back to 500. This thing is going to go nuts. I really do think this thing could go to $1,000 if their technology is as good as it's supposed to be. They make just a F ton of money. I mean, look at their income statement. They went from making no money to making... They went from making $100 million a quarter to making $4 billion in a year's span. That's got to be the fastest revenue growth I've ever seen. It's just insane. And they have a net income of $2.8 billion. Like, they have so much cash flow. They have $9 billion cash on hand. It's nuts. They think this company is going to be insane. Yeah, a lot of people think it's crazy, the evaluation of Myrna on the run. It's not. It's undervalued. in my opinion. What does Myrna make? They make the COVID vaccine for the entire world. And they also about to cure cancer with their gene editing technology. MU. Earnings on Tuesday. It's my top earnings watch this week. It's been beaten down because people think I don't know what it is with the banks, but they keep saying that this is what happened to MU for the longest time. Like, it just got held down in this price range for like years because they kept saying, was it DRAM, the products they make, the memory, isn't a profitable and is a losing source of revenue in the future, which is primarily what they do. Now, if you look at revenue, revenue will tell you that they are fine. And you look at the annual revenue, it is down from 2018, but quarterly it has been going up. And if they diversify their products, they just built a giant new plant. So, they're down to 22 PE ratio. Income is up. They're profiting 1.74 billion a quarter. They got $1 billion cash on hand. Profit margins are going up. You're expected to crush earnings, so MU is not highly shorted, I'm pretty sure. Let me look though. It's 1% shorted, so no, you're wrong. Netflix, they had their catalyst this weekend. I didn't look into it, so someone else would have to do that, but inverted head and shoulders should break 600 this week again and get to about 620, I'm thinking. Neo has the delivery numbers on Friday. Similar situation to Lee Auto. One thing this does have going for it, I guess, is it does kind of have a falling wedge. It's not a great one. I guess you could say it's there. But I really think this thing's going to come down to 20 eventually. I know there's just tons of institutions that think this is a $100 stock. It's not. So I'll be staying away from it, but if you want to go for it, go for it. NNOX, Nanex Imaging, another catalyst this week. I believe they have something later in the week. What is this? Alright, they present Wednesday at the healthcare conference. This is something that was, I mean, this was at one time recently, as soon as early as this year, $94. So I'm pretty sure this is a Kathy Wood stock. A lot of Kathy's stocks are presenting this week, so it'll be a big week for ARCG. ARCG? I think it is ARCG. Yeah. ARCG. Hey, look at that. It looks very similar. So ARCG, maybe this is the week that it turns it around. We'll see. But needs to get over $26. Short term, Needs to get over 24.90. And then if it can break this downtrend, that'd be even better. I don't know why I'm having it do that. So, this one might be one to watch this week, because this has a lot of room to go if it goes. Let me check the short interest on it. A stock like this I could actually see being shorted pretty heavily. A second. I have a feeling I'm going to have to change my class from Sunday nights. Everyone's watching football. 15.5%. So yeah, it does have an okay amount of short interest. NVAX presents this week. Similar story. I can just play the box breakout up or down here. Pretty simple. Hi, Tufan. OCGN, Ocugen. This thing has been highly popular. They have a major catalyst this week. This is the week that we find out if it's worth what it's worth. Ocugen presents on Tuesday. So watch the breakout going into Tuesday or breakdown. Just do Sunday 6 to 7 in between football. Let's see what they're presenting on. COVID vaccine. So that would do it. PaveMed. That's a chart. This thing's just been bleeding up for a long time. Finally broke out recently. They have a presentation later in the week, I believe, on Thursday. So if this thing can get over 970, break all-time highs, I'd like to see that. Looks like it could be a good one. Yeah, I put ATER on my Twitter. You should check it out. A lot of these questions you guys have are answered by like the most recent post on my Twitter. Alright, not very short. PFE. Oh wow, what a chart. Sitting on the 618, this would be the reversal that you'd want to see here. So look for this to break out this week. They are presenting, maybe head back towards 47. Regen presents this week. I imagine it's going to come back down and retest here in this range. Really expensive low float, so SE, very interesting as kind of a reversal formation here. If this gets over 345, you could see this break out to 360. Over 360, it's game on. SEMO, okay, this is another one that would be a counterplay to MU. This is probably the better two plays to play off of SEMO or off of MU. Major supplier for MU. Been crushing earnings lately. Has a big power earnings gap. This should be very high top of your watch list this week because over 76, this will easily go back to 82. And let me show you a very similar chart. So Snap had a very similar chart where it had the power earnings gap and then broke out and just went nuts. So keep SEMO on your watch list this week. Yeah, speaking of Snap, it's the next one. So Snap is ridiculous. I think it's going to 100 at this point. I will wait for a pullback first. I can't get into it right now until it gives me an entry. So not even worth really marking up till we see a pullback on it. But I did want to mention it. I have SQ marked. So the nice thing about SQ is I've been following it for a while. I have it all marked up. So this should be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And should help, you know, I think 275 this week is possible in a bullish market. You guys want to see a chart? Check out this chart. The reason I put this on here, it's not as heavily traded as it once was. Yeah, I did SPY first. I can do it again at the end of the call. Let's see here. So SRPT, the reason I put it on here is because this once was a huge ticker. They got terrible news. And it dropped from 160 to $99 overnight and then hit a floor of $60. So it went down $100 from that news. Starting to curl back up. They do present tomorrow. So based on what they present tomorrow, you might want to look about longing this again, but we'll see. AT&T, they present tomorrow as well, talking about, you know, how they expect to lure investors back and their plans for the future. I think it's only worth playing covered calls and shares on for the dividend. Does have a 7.7% dividend, so if it can break this downtrend and get back over 28, might be worth playing. Tesla, I do have it on this because it does have a catalyst this week. You're looking at a catalyst. Yeah. Looking at a catalyst on Friday with delivery numbers. They also have the Recode conference tomorrow. So tomorrow I expect tech to be very bullish and sell off later in the week. So look for this to get over 780 for continuation. 780 is the big mark. That would be a double top otherwise. And it does have major resistance there. So over 780, you got yourself something. But it is over most resistances, so it does have clear skies. Had this consolidation for about a year and a half. So, well, about a year. So let's see what it can do over 780. Otherwise, it's going to come back down and retest this breakout to 750. All right, Twitter. Twitter, like Snap, has been going nuts lately. Look for Twitter to get over $68 for some continuation. Over 68, it's got some legs up to about 70. So over 68, it could go to 70. Just play the breakouts and go from there. UNH presents this week as well. I do love UNH. It's one of my more preferred healthcare companies. I like Cigna and CVS better, but UNH does have their Blue Light Summit on Tuesday, so because of the catalyst, I'm highlighting this one. I really need to see this back over 409, 408 in that area, and then over that, you might be able to see this run towards 420, 430 in that area. So this thing likes to just kind of chop lately since Biden became president. This is another one of those crazy tickers that just like pops and goes off and pops and goes off. Shorted ticker has presentations. I think it does like, I think it presents 2 or 3 times this week. So if this gets back over 850, might be worth it to try to play for a lottery play. in my opinion. We're going to set some alerts on a lot of these and try to catch a lot of these pops this week. BXRT. And check the short interest on this. This looks like something that could be. SoFi's got their banking charter this week. What day is that? Do we know? Walmart. I hate Walmart. It's so annoying, the chart. But the chart looks good if I'm being honest with you. They do have a catalyst this week as well. I forget what they're presenting on. I gotta find it here. It's like the consumer capital, human capital discussion on Thursday on how to deploy human capital successfully. So Thursday is the catalyst. I don't know if it's going to move the stock, to be honest. It's not like a mega catalyst, but the chart itself is interesting because it's at support. And so if it can break this downtrend and get back above 143.75, yeah, it'll finally move when you sell it, right? That's how it works. So if it can get back over 144, this one could get interesting. Wait, hold on. I'm getting some text. Make sure it's not my wife. Alright. Win, again, another banking, or not banking, another gambling stock. They all look very similar. I use a bunch of them. Seeking Alpha and Market Chameleon. Tuesday? I'll add it to the list. Thank you. It is added. I mean, people haven't been gambling. They have the stock market to gamble now. They don't need to go to casinos. XPEV again. That touchdown I just saw? Let's go! I'm talking about, Packers. So you guys are making me miss all the action. Oh, that's fine. I'm actually doing this. I have my Surface I'm watching the Packer game on. Check and see if I'm getting annihilated in fantasy. You Packers. Yeah, I know everyone has their team. It's all good. XPEV. It's on the list. Not going to play it. COG. COG is interesting. So COG has... it's not on my Catalyst calendar, but they do have a Catalyst this week in terms of... they have an acquisition that they're finalizing this week. So I'm assuming that'll go through without a hitch. The next ticker is interesting. So if this thing gets over 2050, should see some continuation. It has been on an absolute tear lately from $14. Earnings have actually been getting annihilated, but the gas and energy prices are supposed to go through the roof. So gas and natural gas, oil and natural gas, if you saw, I tweeted saying they're one of my top picks for the end of the year. Really like COG. There's a bunch of others I really like too. I just have this on here because it does have a catalyst this week. Zoom. So we're supposed to find out if their 5.9 deal goes through this week. If the 5.9 goes through, might be a turning point finally for Zoom to turn around. I think Zoom is finally at the point where they... me see here. Still 114 PE ratio. Income growth starting to round. So I can't imagine Zoom goes below 230. It's kind of in that zone where I thought it would come down to. Krishna, I just talked about Myrna. So Zoom, it's below the uptrend line now though. So I would love to see it reverse, but it's just one of those that's so bearish. I don't know if I can. Alright, let's look at futures and wrap her up. We've been on almost an hour now. And futures look good. Yep, still similar. Still looking for that 448 on futures tomorrow. Before retrace, maybe Tuesday down to 445, and then up to 451, and we'll go from there. Dow's up 50%. It's pretty much at my PT for tonight, so I don't know if it'll do much. It might actually come back down. Hopefully it doesn't make the full move tonight, but I'm hoping we get some price action tomorrow. Otherwise, tomorrow might be a green to red day. Let's look at NQ. Is that a little off? Oh, thank you. Yeah, baby should be here any day now, so I'm probably going to have a busy week. It's most likely coming this week. If it doesn't come this week, we'll have to induce it, but does look like it is coming this week. Alright. There we go. Now we're starting to move up 7 point, almost a full percent. See if this can get, see where this opens tomorrow. If it opens here, bust out, could have a very bullish day. You guys, don't read my Twitter. Like all these tickers, Geov is on there. I think it's at that point now where it's been squeezing. And I gave it to you at $6. So it gets over $10. This $9.50, $10 in that range. This thing is going to go nuts. It has all the potential to go. So we'll see. If EVs this week are popular, this could be a big one. So I don't think their cars are very popular though. If you guys have seen these, let me show you what one of these looks like. Unless you like this kind of thing. Here's what a canoe car looks like. The truck version of it isn't terrible. But, I mean, it's just... I mean, if you're gonna go for a cyber van, yeah, I guess that's what a modern van would look like in the future that no one would ever make. Except they made it anyways. But So yeah, that's a great way to end the night, right? I'll talk about Ader real quick, and then we'll leave it on Ader. So a couple things on Ader. Let's look at the daily on this. How are my trend lines getting moved? Alright, yeah, here we go. So on the daily, you can see it's just been on a downtrend. It hasn't broken the downtrend yet, but I have a feeling it's going to test 16 again, come down to this tip, and then that's going to see when we see that explosive growth. So I still am bullish on this. The volume is still really good. It hasn't been going down, but I still think this is worth the risk to reward on it. It's still 60% shorted. Still has incredible cost to borrow. You know, most of the shorts are from $9 and under. So this blue line right here is where the shorts average is. So they're all down from down here. So yeah, most of the shorts shorted right here, in this area right here. So I think this thing can squeeze because right now the shorts are losing money, the cost to borrow is high. As long as it keeps going up, it's gonna go. So, alright everyone. That's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna finish watching the Packer game, and I hope we all make some money this week. Thank you and have a great night. There's a full article on the Evergrande deal in our server for free if you look under the, I think it's under, where is it? It's under news updates. If you scroll up a few days ago, it says Evergrande DD from the 21st. Sig wrote up a really good in-depth article that's worth reading. So, alright everyone, have a great night. Make some money.